Helicopters Magazine, your source for Canadian industry news and business intelligence for more than 30 years.
One of the most significant issues facing operators of all sizes over the past 2 years has been the economy, finding ways to stay profitable, productive, and strong in a challenging environment. How has your company weathered the storm, and what lessons can you share with other operators? We asked our esteemed panel of experts this question during Helicopter Magazine's first industry roundtable, March 26th at the HAC conference in Vancouver. You can read the entire story in the July, August, September issue and October, November, December issue of Helicopters Magazine.
In Alberta and here in British Columbia, where we've also been, I've been actively lobbying to expand into British Columbia. There have been real challenges at the healthcare level, so significant rationalization of costs. But that's cut both ways for the helicopter medical transport business, at least in our experience. Money is tighter in terms of how they allocate it within their various priorities. On the other hand, because of changing demographics, of the closure of rural hospitals, there's actually increased need for effective transport solutions. So the helicopter industry, I think, is probably doing fairly well in general across the country in terms of responding to that need. So these aren't bad times for us.
Our operation is certainly not unique in the helicopter industry, but we're a fairly tightly defined fleet in only the light and intermediate markets, so that the impact on our operations has probably been as large as it has on any. The markets that we address don't have as much long-term activity as companies that operate larger equipment. So the economy has been a very, very rough road for us. The owners are not, haven't been particularly attracted to pouring in any more money. We have, however, been able to hold the line with next to no layoffs at all, despite the fact that over the last 3 years our revenue hours have been reduced fully by 50%, which is a staggering kind of a number in a company of our size. But again, it is our owner's depth that has allowed us to survive this particular circumstance. Anyone with a similar market to deal with, and that without that kind of financial backing, I'm sure has had much more pain than we have. Mm-hmm. But we're pleased that we've gotten through without having to see too many of our employees hurt in any way. And indeed, as I think you alluded to, Matt, we're probably seeing now certainly signs of improvement.
Well, flight training is very dependent on the economy. When the economy's good, people have extra money, they want to take flight training. But our biggest hit was last year. We had our slowest year probably ever in our 15-year history, and it has been picking up since September. Our numbers are down about 50% as well. We don't feel that bad about it because we don't want to be training a whole bunch of pilots to go into an industry where there's no work. Our goal at Mountain View is to train people and get them jobs. And when the industry is hurting, we're having difficulty placing these people. I mean, we like to have as many students as we can, but we also have a conscience. We don't want to take people's money and not ensure that we'll help them get a career. It is, like I said, coming back. We have a fairly good roster of students right now, and looking not too bad for the fall. So we're kind of weathering it, and what we've had to do is shorten up some of our staff. We've had to cut my AMO basically in half because I just didn't have enough money to pay everybody. Luckily, they were skilled individuals and they found work elsewhere right away, so we didn't feel that bad when we had to let them go. Mm-hmm. But keeping our fingers crossed that things are going to keep happening and still be able to place these people in some of the jobs that are coming available.
I think we will do well this year because, in the mining in north of Quebec, there's a lots of project at this time. And the forestry come back a little bit. And, with with the fire, forest, and government job, I think we will doing well. But the problem in Quebec at this time is there's a lot of machine there. New big operator with brand new machine. So Regis is a new owner since a couple of years, and he bought the company in the crisis. So we are trying to work hard to stay in the business, and with the safety requirements from big mining companies, we have to take care about our money because the safety, it's expensive in the company. So we are just straight on the line, and we are trying to doing good. We have no choice.
We were, Canadian was fortunate because in 2006, when we split from CHC, the new company management started to rationalize our operations. So we made a bunch of cuts to our numbers of bases and equipment and people, even when the economy was growing. So when the industry went into recession, we were fortunate. We got away with only laying off about 10% of our workforce. That coupled with a fortuitous decision to expand our horizons overseas has really, as you know, Canadian's a public company, so our bottom line is open for all to see, but we had a very successful 2010, and that was certainly buttressed by our decision to go work with the U.S. DoD in Afghanistan in 2009. So
yeah, at Hydro One, it's pretty well business as usual. There's really no upswing. There's not really a downswing at all. We're seeing some financial, restraints and such, but we still have this large commitment to the province to keep the lights on, and it requires pretty well the same amount of effort last year and the year before as it is going to be for this year. And we still seem to have a pretty reasonable work program, and it doesn't seem to be changing.
There's no way to sugarcoat it. It's been a difficult couple of years for the industry, and we're not out of the woods yet. I think most operators, have done what's prudent under the circumstances to try to make the most of it in a difficult economic climate, to rein in their costs, and to behave more conservatively from a business perspective. There are some promising first signs of recovery, but it's still in its infancy yet, and operators are behaving appropriately, I think, under the circumstances, and preparing for when things really start to improve.